Movies. I like watching movies. Movies have endings. Most of the time, at least from what I've seen, these endings are good or at least acceptable. I've never really seen a lot of bad endings because I only really watch the highest quality media. But one time I watched a movie because my sister recommended it, and that movie was called Where the Crawdads Sing. I'm quickly going to give you a very brief rundown of the movie, and to be honest, I haven't seen this movie in like 2 years, so I'm just going off memory here. Sorry if I make a mistake. So there's this girl called Kaya who lives with her mom in a swamp, but then her mom leaves the swamp to escape her abusive alcoholic dad. The dad also leaves, which means Kaya has to survive all on her own without parents, so she learned everything from the way animals and nature act. Remember that, it will be important. She starts becoming friends with this guy called Tate Walker, who teaches her how to read and write. That's quite nice of him. Sadly, everyone else in the town is a total dickhead, and they all call her the Marsh Girl. Let's skip forward a bit. This guy called Chase Andrews tries to rape her, so she hits him with a rock, runs away, and a couple days later, the guy is dead with no evidence on the scene. So everybody assumed Kaya did it because she's the weird Marsh Girl, and she almost got raped by him or whatever. So she has a court case, she wins the court case, she marries Tate, and they live happily ever after until she goes out on the lake, and there's this really nice scene of her reuniting with her mother. So Kaya has this book where she describes all the marsh animals. So Tate flips through it, and as he closes the book, he also dies. What a nice ending, eh? If it was actually real, because in the actual ending, he flips the page, and it turns out she was the killer. The entire movie was about don't judge a book by its cover. Everybody in that jury was filled with prejudice about how she's weird and lives in a swamp, but if they actually got to know her, like the side characters do, they would realize that she's actually a good person and not some weird boogeyman or urban legend freak. Her lawyer even makes a point about how it would have been nearly impossible for her to do the murder in the time frame that it took place, and that the jury wasn't thinking with logic but thinking with their prejudices. So the jury realizes, oh yeah, this is stupid. She's declared not guilty. Like, imagine if I made a movie about a black guy that comes from a rough home, that lives on a hill right next to an all-white neighborhood, gets assaulted by a guy, and 2 days later, that guy's car has been stolen. So everybody assumes he did it, but the lawyer proves it was impossible for him to do it, and he isn't a bad guy, just misunderstood. And it turns out he actually did steal the car. What kind of fucking bullshit is that? When I decided to make this video, I went online to see what other people were saying about the movie. And lots of supposed deep thinkers were going on about how she killed him because she was raised by nature. And in nature, the strong survive. You have to defend yourself. And although I think that's a good explanation and makes a lot of sense, the ending still ruins the entire point of the movie. And sure, we could get into a debate if Chase deserved to die and the morality of killing for your own well-being, but this video is about a movie, not about social issues. Now, aside from the ending, the movie is actually really good, and even though I just spoiled everything, I still recommend that you watch it, because I only gave you a very basic rundown of the plot, and also the characters are really likable. Anyways, thanks for watching.